Controversy. Trump has signed order to lower flags nationwide after Pope Francis's death. Van Hollen accuses Trump administration of lawlessness in deportation case. Warner has reacted to Hexet's alleged sensitive information sharing. And in entertainment news, Jackie has opined about uncomfortable experiences at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Regina Daniels has been attacked by netizens after Prissie's wedding. Let's go for a quick commercial break, and when we are back, I would give you the details of these stories and more.
Admission, admission, admission. Are you looking for a computer institution with a serene atmosphere in equipping you with the ability to deepen your understanding and in-depth knowledge in computerization? Then the answer is Big Family Multimedia Institute. Our dedicated and experienced teachers are ready to provide personal attention, support, and help you bring your fusion to bear. We are located at Amasama Dobrogono, Upper Class Junction, and Santa Maria Family and Friend. For more information, contact
0555 20 80 56
0540 932 188. Website bfmnetworks.com. Email info@bfmnetwork.com. Other affiliates include Center for Trade, Big Family TV, Big Family News, Big Family Radio, Big Family Event, Big Family Multimedia Institute, KabaraInfo.com, Trustees, Okman Motors, Soko Mall, ABK TV Ghana. Enroll now and experience the difference.
You are all that matters.
You're welcome back. My name is Esther Kusiagbobli. Now the details of the stories. David Hogg, a prominent gun control activist and newly elected vice chair of the Democratic National Committee, DNC, has stated his intention to support primary challenges against incumbent Democratic politicians. This announcement has sparked considerable backlash within the Democratic Party, exposing existing internal divisions and reigniting debates about the party's direction. Eugene Daniels, a political correspondent, discussed the significance of Hogg's move with Ali Vitali on MSNBC's Way Too Early show. Daniels explained why Hogg's decision isn't entirely unexpected, given his background and outspoken advocacy. Furthermore, he analyzed what his action reveals about the ideological rifts and strategic disagreements that currently exist within the Democratic Party, particularly concerning progressive priorities versus more moderate approaches. Daniel's analysis shed light on the potential implication of Hogg's stance for future Democratic primaries and the broader political landscape.
There's some drama brewing in Democrat world. It all started when David Hogg, an activist now elected as vice chair to the Democratic National Committee, said he was going to be investing in primary challenges to Democrats. The thing is, the DNC notoriously doesn't play in primaries. And there's the drama.
Talk about if this is unexpected from David Hogg. To me, I read this and I think, okay, this is a continuation of the kind of activism that he's long been doing.
Ali, I'm not surprised by this. And I'm kind of laughing at people a little bit on the Democratic side who are surprised, who would say, oh my God, not David Hogg, right? This is exactly kind of how he grew up politically, right? And he is of a generation that believes that if someone is not doing something that you want, it doesn't matter how long they've been in power, it doesn't matter how long they've won their primaries, how popular they might be in their districts, then they need to go, right? And I think the issue that you're seeing is this tension between kind of whatever this new guard of the Democratic Party is trying to shape up to be and what everyone is used to in the party process, which is kind of letting things play out. You don't take on the incumbents because you don't want to mess anything up, and also they're the incumbents. You're supposed to protect them as committees around it's the DNC or the D-Trip or any of these other committees, but this is part of the internal fight that the party is having and is going to continue to have. It is also important for folks within the Democratic Party to remember is that what we're hearing as reporters from folks on the ground, normal Americans who aren't a part of the process, is that this is actually more interesting to them than this kind of effort, because they are sick and tired of feeling like losers, right? They're sick and tired of feeling beleaguered as a party. They don't feel in touch, and I think where the party is with its very low approval rating, these kinds of efforts are much more interesting. Having it happen for someone who's like in the actual apparatus is a little strange. Yeah. And so the party's going to have to shake that out. But the sentiment is there. And David Hogg's kind of plan here or thought process here is a part of the Democratic, the base of the Democratic Party, whether you're talking about Nancy Pelosi's, the person taking on Nancy Pelosi or any of these other folks, the party has to figure out how to operate differently, and whether or not this is the right way, this is an attempt to do so.
Moving on. At the White House Easter egg roll, President Donald Trump has announced that flags across the United States would be flown at half-staff in mourning for the passing of Pope Francis. Trump stated that he had signed an executive order mandating the lowering of both federal and state flags to half-staff. While the specific details and text of the executive order were not immediately available, President Trump characterized Pope Francis as a good man who worked hard and loved the world, adding that it was an honor to pay tribute to him in this way.
I just signed an executive order putting the flags of our country, all of them, all federal flags and state flags, at half-mast in honor of Pope Francis. So he was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world, and it's an honor to do that.
Away from that story, following the passing of Pope Francis, whose final Easter message emphasized compassion for the vulnerable and marginalized, Senator Chris Van Hollen appeared on MSNBC's morning show. He discussed the case of Gilma Abrego Garcia, a Maryland resident who was mistakenly deported, despite a Supreme Court ruling in his favor. Van Hollen, after meeting with Garcia, sharply criticized the Trump's administration, accusing it of disregarding the rule of law. He argued that the administration's actions in Garcia's case set a dangerous precedent, stating, "When you take away the rights of one man, you threaten the rights for everybody." Van Hollen's remarks underscore concerns about the potential erosion of due process and legal protections under the previous administration.
Pope Francis's last words, final public remarks, focused on this theme. How much contempt is stirred up at times toward the vulnerable, the marginalized, and migrants, Francis wrote in a papal address delivered on Easter Sunday, yesterday, by a Vatican aide to the crowds gathered in St. Peter's Square. And here we are, you on, I guess, just back now from El Salvador, dealing with the issue of just one of the many people who have been forcibly removed, disappeared. I mean, some might even see it as a kidnapping. It's definitely not a deportation. Where does the plight of Gilma Abrego Garcia stand now?
Well, you're very right. I read Pope Francis's remarks. He was a beautiful soul, a pope for all of humanity, and he focused on the most vulnerable and on natural rights, on the right of everybody to be free under the law. And the whole point here that we're making is that the Trump administration needs to respect the Constitution of the United States. When you threaten the rights of one man like Abrego Garcia, take away the rights of one man like Abrego Garcia, you threaten the rights for everybody. In this case, the Trump administration is flouting the law. because the Supreme Court on a 9-0 ruling said that they had to facilitate the return of Abrego Garcia. I was just down there, as you said. I met with them. The embassy, the Trump administration is doing nothing right now to comply with that court order. What they're doing is trying to change the subject, as if you can't comply with the Constitution and fight gang violence. I've been fighting MS-13 longer than Donald Trump probably ever uttered the words. I put together an anti-gang task force in this Washington region, Maryland, Washington, Virginia. So the notion that fighting gangs requires that you shred the Constitution and deny people's rights is just the dangerous spin that Donald Trump is putting on all this.
Moving on, Senator Mark Warner, chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, appeared with Jose Diaz-Balart to discuss the recent revelations concerning Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. The conversation centered on Hegseth's alleged sharing of sensitive information within a second signal group chat, raising concerns about potential breaches of national security protocols and proper handling of classified materials. Warner's reaction likely included expressing his concerns about the seriousness of the situation, emphasizing the need for a thorough investigation, and potentially outlining the potential consequences for the Secretary of Defense if the allegations are proven true. He might have also touched on the importance of maintaining the integrity of classified information and the risks posed by unauthorized disclosure.
Look, this was a screw-up, in my opinion. The administration won't admit it, but this was a screw-up. Mr. Garcia was not supposed to be sent to El Salvador, and I understand why the...
What do you think you've achieved with this trip, and what's next in terms of getting him actually released and sent back to the United States?
Well, the first thing was to accomplish what his mother and family were really desperate to learn.
And why?
This is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations.
It's just fake news. They just bring up stories. I guess it sounds like disgruntled employees.
This is what happens when the entire Pentagon is working against you and working against the monumental change that you are trying to implement.
The trumpet in that first few parts is quite something in the background. But that aside, I mean, the Pentagon is working against Pete Hegseth, like the entire Pentagon as an institution. Did the entire Pentagon as an institution type a signal text chain on the Secretary of Defense's personal phone that included detailed military operations and then force him to include his wife and brother? Because that would be quite a story. That would be a huge story. Of course, that's not what happened. And these are the same non-denial denials that Trump world always turns out when they know that a reporter has caught them red-handed, doing something they're not supposed to do. Sadly, we're kind of used to this by now. Seems like every day this administration is scrambling to clean up one mess or another mess. Because when it comes to staffing the government, Donald Trump isn't sending his best.
Senator Chris Van Hollen has disclosed new information about his meeting with Gilma Abrego Garcia, revealing that Garcia is deeply traumatized by his imprisonment in El Salvador. Sharing his observations, Van Hollen stated that Garcia is obviously in a terrible situation and has experienced trauma, further noting Garcia's own words that he's sad every day. This account provides a poignant glimpse into the human cost of the legal and political battle surrounding Garcia's deportation and underscores the emotional toll it has taken on him. Van Hollen's remarks aim to highlight the urgency of addressing Garcia's situation and ensuring his well-being.
Which is that he's alive. I hadn't heard a thing about him. That for someone who's, you know, he's obviously in a terrible situation. As I said, he's experienced trauma. He said he's sad every day. But I think this persistence resulted in having this chance to meet with him, to begin to get a little bit of his story. And I think it is the first step to ultimately bringing him home as the Constitution requires.
Moving away and then now entering the world of entertainment, Ghanaian singer Jacqueline Champon, known professionally as Jackie, has shared her experiences of feeling uncomfortable and overwhelmed during her time at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST. Jackie, who studied business administration, explained that balancing her academic pursuits with her burgeoning music career created significant pressure. She detailed instances where lecturers would unexpectedly quiz her with challenging questions, making her feel unprepared and self-conscious. Additionally, she expressed discomfort with the dress code prescribed for business students, leading to paranoia about her appearance. Jackie also recalled feeling uneasy when fellow students would request photos, especially on days when she felt self-conscious. The singer also recounted her first stage performance at KNUST, which was marred by technical difficulties and a mixed audience reaction. The experience left her feeling terrified and regretful, leading her to cry backstage. Despite these challenges, Jackie persevered, successfully navigating her studies and launching her music career.
Routine net to say, school up a dinner bar. So, say, be out fancy all the papa dinner now. If a Jackie, you know,
yeah,
not feeling sanity.
Yeah, not sometimes a nice class no be like I like your song. I told her so I get it uncomfortable because you say member class na a be a lecturer no enya information say and you way nipa no to you know our class ha bohne bia waka auntie I heard there's a singer in the class where she now was what story and I say we are singing into me busa question ebi asada na so
wow
you are listening to Big Family Radio. Big Family Radio.
Now say pressure be able to so
superstar wabon
and also the pressure by Ebert.
So when him answer ne cry pressure into really feel.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I the cabo about answer. That's what your fancy we.
Oh.
One in now.
You are listening to Big Family Radio. Big Family Radio. Biase
into the honor I feel also even in terms of how I dress. I'm not even trying to say I don't dress smart as a student, but I thought that it's like I feel na my paranoid. Even if I look okay, I am say I'm not looking like
star. No?
Yeah, as a star now or back class. No? Also because business school na yeshe blue
yes
and black. And oshe blue black now I show sandal and now sneaker. Inti I feel na me ko class cry na me ferry is like because even in class I don't like na me impaired the way I like and let's take pictures. Mind you, it's a nice thing. Will be about all kind of nice things about you. It's nice, but that if you are walk class in the crowd, you are not in the right state of mind as a student. I'm juggling the two. That's what so you are not really looking your best. And BBA Ebeko on the internet is there for a long time, you know. But it's like I had to.
Wow.
You can't be a human being when you are known in front of the cameras. That's how I see I'm a behono.
Okay.
Bia or what camera in Biano and go for who will sell a robot.
What school would you with in net to say?
Away from that story, Nigerian actress Regina Daniels is facing a barrage of criticism on social media following her congratulatory message to fellow actress and social media personality Priscilla Ojo, who recently tied the knot with Tanzanian singer and songwriter Juma Jux in a lavish wedding ceremony held in Nigeria. The event, attended by numerous politicians, actors, and prominent public figures, was widely celebrated. However, Daniel's Instagram post, in which she praised Ojo for her stunning bridal appearance and wished the couple a lifetime of happiness, drew ire from some online users. The criticism stems from Daniel's own marriage to a much older man, with commenters accusing her of hypocrisy and alleging that she married for financial gain. The controversy highlights the ongoing scrutiny and judgment faced by women in the public eye regarding their personal choices, particularly when those choices deviate from social norms. To end the news, new DNC Vice Chair Hawk plans to challenge incumbent, igniting controversy. Trump has signed order to lower flags nationwide after Pope Francis's death. Van Hollen has accused Trump administration of lawlessness in deportation case. Warner has reacted to Hexet's alleged sensitive information sharing. Jackie has also opened up about uncomfortable experiences at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Regina Daniels is also being attacked by netizens after Priss's wedding. To acknowledge my sponsors: Trustees Network Group, Center for Trade, Big Family Multimedia Institute, BFM Store. You can also watch us live and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Big Family Radio. You can also follow us on YouTube and TikTok at Big Family Radio and Big Family TV Online. You can read more of these stories on bigfamilyonline.com. A massive thank you to my producers, and my name is Esther Kosiak-Bobli. This was, you listened and watched News at 6 from the studios of Big Family Radio. Have a good evening.
Admission.